2020, y'all. Yeah. And it's different than when it was 2016.
Yeah.
You know, the game has been elevated.
We'll expose somebody that we all forget about. Y'all see this picture of Jay-Z with Aaliyah?
And with all his might, he pushed her out, flung her out the door. And she fell on her ass and she fell on her knees.
An informant has come forward with shocking details that could lead to Diddy and Jay-Z facing serious consequences. Hidden tunnels, buried secrets, and evidence that can't be overlooked. What's been uncovered is astonishing and could bring their careers to a crashing halt. Could this be the moment that takes down these music moguls for good? We're digging into these explosive allegations, so get ready for a wild ride.
Psychic medium, so I actually, every time I walk past his house, and obviously the Playboy Mansion's right there, and we know about the tunnel.
He just said the Playboy Mansion is right up there. So we're talking about them finding secret tunnels under Diddy's home. And this guy right here is saying that the Playboy Mansion is literally right around the corner. So that's what he said. It's kind of low. So I'm just gonna play it again.
Psychic medium, so I actually, every time I walk past his house, and obviously the Playboy Mansion's right there, and we know about the tunnels that connect from.
We all know about the tunnels that connect.
The Playboy Mansion.
To here?
I'm sure they connect.
So right here, the Playboy Mansion may have had they actually have secret tunnels connecting to the homes of some of the biggest stars in the 1970s. So it's a possibility that the reason why P. Diddy actually got this particular house where he's in now is because of the possibility, because I don't know, or allegedly, because of these tunnels that were already built and that are connected to P. Diddy's home, where whatever P. Diddy wanted to do, he can do freely without anybody knowing about, because the tunnels are up under the house.
Adding to the mystery, a recently surfaced video shows Diddy entering his house, but what really caught viewers' attention was a brief glimpse of his darkened backyard. In the shadows, some claim to see what could be the entrance to a hidden tunnel system. Whether this is just an optical illusion or something more sinister remains uncertain. The grainy footage has only intensified speculation and fueled conspiracy theories about an alleged tunnel network beneath Diddy's property.
Best thing I've ever worn is I have a vintage Ralph Lauren double-breasted tuxedo.
Wow, sounds nice. And what's your favorite article of clothing?
Favorite article of clothing? Socks.
And how would you describe your style?
My style? It's Diddy style right here, you know?
I can see. And who are your style icons out of all the icons in the world?
Dapper Dan and this kid right here, my son.
Christian.
How you?
The third son.
Oh, good to see you.
How fresh he is, little fresh mini me.
See, comfy, cozy tape.
Put your sneakers up, man. Come on.
I got you. I'm sorry.
Who's your fashion mentor?
My mother is my fashion mentor.
And designer?
As a fashion designer, though, I would have to say Tom Ford, though.
Could these alleged tunnels extend beyond Diddy's property and somehow connect to Jay-Z's estate? While the informant hasn't mentioned Jay-Z directly, the possibility of a larger network adds even more intrigue to the situation. Is there more to this story than meets the eye, or is it simply speculation driven by the informant's explosive claims? Before diving deeper into the conspiracy, it's important to explore the bond between these two hip-hop legends. Jay-Z and Diddy's friendship spans over 2 decades, beginning in the early 90s when both were just starting to make names for themselves in the rap scene. From the gritty streets of New York to the dazzling heights of global fame, they've been through it all together. Musically, they've collaborated, supported each other behind the scenes, and stayed close through the highs and lows of their careers.
It's 2020, y'all. Yeah. And it's different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaire's lunch. You good?
Whoa, you put that thing on the whoa!
You see how we do it here on Saturdays. This is where this is about to be. I mean, look at my mantras real quick. Be kind. Read that one. Be fearless. What you call it? Mauve. Yeah, mauve. That shit. Let's go celebrate them.
As the drama surrounding Diddy and Jay-Z continues to escalate, a resurfaced video from 2018 offers new insight into their past dynamic. The interview features Diddy reacting to Jay-Z's song and video Family Feud, in which Jay-Z publicly addresses his infidelity. In the clip, Diddy is surprisingly supportive, even calling Jay-Z's decision to speak openly about it powerful. This moment of camaraderie stands in sharp contrast to the current atmosphere of suspicion and allegations swirling around them. Could this be evidence of a genuine, forgiving friendship, or is it simply a fleeting moment now overshadowed by recent events? Let's examine the interview and see if it reveals any clues about the current state of their relationship.
As a close friend of Jay-Z, what was your reaction?
I didn't see anything, I think, like the rest of the world, and I think it was genius. I think Beyonce did a great job, and she tackled something that a lot of women have had to go through, and also Jay, on the other side, he did what he had to do. And most importantly, their family stayed tight and together, and they were able to weather the storm. And that's a shining example of a couple that stays together through the good and the bad.
And of course, Jaguar Wright isn't backing down after dropping bombshells on Diddy. She's now turning her attention to Jay-Z. She claims to have the evidence, or, as she puts it, the receipts to expose him as well. Given Jay-Z's close bond with Diddy over the years, many are left wondering if there's any truth to her accusations. Could Jay-Z be the next target in Jaguar Wright's ongoing takedown? This situation just keeps getting more intriguing with each new revelation.
And I think it's time for him to start speaking up about his very good friend. Just 9 months ago, you were singing his praises. All that he's done for the culture, and how you gotta be crazy like Diddy to make it. Then you didn't want to sit next to him at the Grammys. Told everybody that he had cooties. And canceled the Rock Nation brunch, which is your favorite event. Because that's how you line up who you gonna move around next. Like y'all did with Clarence Avon. I'm gonna get you. And I told you I would. And I'm gonna keep my word. And you're gonna pay me in full. I got your boy Diddy by the nuts. How long you think before I'll have yours right here in my hand?
Reggie Wright Jr. recently came forward with shocking allegations about Jay-Z's past, claiming that in the 1990s, the rap mogul was frequently seen with young girls. Wright detailed instances where Jay-Z would attend parties and events, often surrounded by underage girls, allegedly facilitated by industry insiders. These revelations have cast a dark shadow over Jay-Z's legacy, raising serious questions about his actions during the early days of his career. Wright Jr.'s testimony could play a critical role in ongoing investigations, potentially exposing a hidden side to Jay-Z's rise to fame.
I'm going to expose somebody that we all forget about. Y'all see this picture of Jay-Z with Aaliyah when she was underage? Y'all forgot about Jay, huh? We only know about Damon Dash messing with Aaliyah and R. Kelly. But that ain't the only one that Jay had when she was underage. Y'all remember Fox Brown and Jay? Ain't no woman like the one I got. No one could love you bad. Before that song came out, we used to hear it. I used to tell shit. I was like, ooh, that. Him and Mystical, those were two songs that were hot. That it took like a year before it got, well, I'll say to the West Coast. I don't know if they were beating it up on the East Coast. But on the West Coast, it took like a year before those songs came out. And then Nelly's song with the Lake St. Louis things. But I'm just saying all that to say, Foxy was young then as well. And so, all of these guys and the underage young ladies was running rapid in the 90s. And so,
Reggie Wright Jr. didn't stop at exposing Jay-Z, he also made damning allegations against Diddy. Wright Jr. claimed that Diddy has been involved in nefarious activities for years, and with the truth now beginning to surface, he predicted that Diddy would go to great lengths to avoid prison. Diddy will run or meet his maker before he goes to prison, Wright Jr. ominously stated, suggesting that the music mogul might take extreme measures to escape justice. These explosive claims have further intensified the scrutiny on Diddy, as both the public and authorities closely watch how he responds to the mounting evidence and accusations.
I guarantee y'all, by the end of August, I'm not saying he will be in custody, because I believe he's going to either run like Russell or he's going to commit. I don't believe Puffy is the type of man that can set up and go to court and try to fight this. I believe people are going to advise him to do that because attorneys does that. They do that until it's over, and then they want to drain you, and then once they get all the money they can make, it, that's their job. You know, that's how they make a living. That's how they put their kids through school, pay their secretaries and their side, and ride around the cars. So, yeah, they gonna drain him, but they gonna advise him or attempt to or want to do that. I don't think Puffy is strong enough to sit in that county jail.
In the latest episode of the Art of Dialogue podcast, American Black activist Dr. Umar Johnson voiced his deep concern over the infamous hotel video involving Diddy and Cassie. He stressed that no woman, regardless of her race or background, should be threatened or mistreated in such a way.
Here's what I'm going to say. I want to respond to your question on the Diddy situation. Morally and ethically, and then I want to respond to it legally and procedurally, because I believe they're separate. American law isn't based on justice. We know that. American law isn't based on righteousness. We know that. American law isn't based on morality or ethics. We know that. So I have to respond with the moral side as a black man watching a black man not only put his hands, but also put his feet on a woman. And I don't care what color the woman is, no woman should ever be harmed by a man. I don't care if she's red, black, blue, purple, or brown. No woman should ever be assaulted by a man. And I can't say that enough. So from a moral perspective, from a black man perspective, what Sean Puffy Combs did by not only putting hands, but also putting feet on that woman and then dragging her down the hallway is unacceptable. It is reprehensible. It was absolutely disgusting, grotesque, and to some degree, unforgivable. I'm 10 toes down with the black community on the fact that what Puffy did was without question conduct unbecoming a man, let alone a role model. You have no argument from me on that point. I want to be clear on that. Wrong, wrong, wrong.
Dr. Umar Johnson also used the opportunity to address broader issues impacting the black community in America. He emphasized the systemic injustices that continue to affect black individuals and called for solidarity and collective action to combat these challenges.
I have to turn the mirror on black America. And I have to ask black America a very serious question. Are you really against domestic violence? Or are you simply glorying in the downfall of a very successful rap mogul, and you're using the domestic violence incident as a justification to celebrate his fall from grace? And the reason I have to ask this question, Art, is because 40% of black women in America are domestically abused every day in this country. 40%, that's almost half the black women in this country are victimized by their lovers, their husbands, their boyfriends, their baby dads, their fiancés. So if black men are appalled by Puff Daddy's behavior, if black women are appalled by Puff Daddy's behavior, why do we have so much domestic violence in the black community? Let me ask it another way. You want Puffy to suffer for what he did, and he should. But did you call the police when you heard your son beating his girlfriend up upstairs? Did you call the police when you heard your nephew choking out his girlfriend last week? Did you call the police when you heard your grandfather smacking up your grandmother in the back room? See, I cannot condone hypocrisy, Art. I can't condone hypocrisy. If we are this adamant against domestic abuse, why is it so prevalent in the black community? Do you know that a black woman is 3 times as likely to be murdered by her romantic partner than a white woman? 3 times as likely. And I don't have to tell you, you watch the news, this whole year has been a killing spree against black women.
In a recent interview with Roger Bonds, shocking details emerged about an altercation involving Diddy and his female personal chef. Bonds revealed that tensions between Diddy and the chef
that was complaining about her, talking about her, got in her face, put his hand on her forehead and started pushing it back. And if you know Jordan, you know that Jordan ain't gonna let a man just put her hands on her. So she said, don't put your hands on me. One thing led to another, and with all his might, he pushed her out, flung her out the door. And she fell on her ass and she fell on her knees. And that was the last time I seen Jordan. And I actually didn't even know. Everybody was talking about it the next day. But I was like, for real? She just quit out of nowhere? So I never really knew why she quit. But with everything that's going on with Cassie, she reached out to me and she said it's really, really, really bothering her. Like, it brought back all the trauma and everything that she went through with Diddy, who was always screaming at her, yelling at her. And the fact that he put his hands on her, that it was kind of driving her right now.
The incident paints a troubling picture of the music mogul's behavior behind closed doors, raising serious concerns about his treatment of women and his temperament in interpersonal conflicts. With Diddy already facing scrutiny, what about Jay-Z? As allegations swirl and the spotlight intensifies, speculation grows regarding Jay-Z's potential involvement in this entire situation. Do you think he will be the next to face scrutiny? Stay tuned for further developments as the truth behind these troubling incidents gradually unfolds. Leave your thoughts in the comments below.